Joe Rogan did not endorse RFK Jr. Now, I don't care what anybody tells you. This is not true. Joe Rogan did not do this. Now, this all started when Joe Rogan had a guest on his podcast, and they started to talk about the 2024 presidential election. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. And Joe Rogan started talking about the dynamics between the right and the left. And then he started talking about RFK Jr. And he said that he was the only one that makes sense and that he likes the guy. And let you hear what he said in his own words. This is Joe Rogan on his podcast, I believe 2 days ago. Listen.
That's just what they do. That's politics. They do it on the left. They do it on the right. They gaslight you. They manipulate you. They promote narratives. And the only one who's not doing that is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
You a fan?
Yeah, I am a fan.
So that really sounds like an endorsement, right? Kind of. I thought so too. At the time, I thought it was an endorsement too. But there were some right-wing Twitter accounts that went absolutely nuts about what Joe Rogan said on this podcast. One prominent right-wing Twitter account, just to give you an idea of how a lot of these MAGA people were tweeting. I consider myself a MAGA person, but I did not tweet like this. I think this is an overreaction from people. But just to give you an idea, this is Cat Turd. He's one of the most prominent, most popular accounts on X. He is a massive Trump supporter, as am I. But he had a little different approach than I did and maybe a few others in the MAGA crowd. This is what he said about what Joe Rogan said. He said, "So I've never been a Joe Rogan fan. Can't stand him. Yes, he has a popular podcast, but I've always thought he was absolutely politically dumb. He's great at figuring things out 2 years after we do. What a legend. So did it surprise me when he endorsed idiot RFK today? LOL, no. We are talking about the same effing idiot who endorsed Bernie Sanders, right? He's the political equivalent of a dumb blonde joke." And this is what he said in his replies. He wasn't done. He says, "And just so you know, so many people are terrified to call these morons out because of their popularity. Not me. I honestly believe the dude is dumb as dirt." So very interesting take by Cat Turd. And I actually posted about it as well. I thought it was an endorsement as well. And this is what I said. Because honestly, guys, Joe Rogan, I have immense respect for Joe Rogan. He can endorse who he wants. Was I disappointed? Yes. But this is what I said. I said, Joe Rogan has done 1,000 times more to wake people up than most people can ever dream of doing. And I legitimately believe that. It disappoints me that he endorsed RFK Jr., but attacking him will achieve nothing. Remember, Rogan is friends with Alex Jones, and if he can't convince him, your rage post means nothing. Tim Pool, though, had a little bit of a different approach, and this is what he tweeted out after seeing all of the rage showing up on Twitter. He said, "Okay, I'm voting for RFK Jr. now." So this is obviously a joke, right? Everyone knows that Tim Pool is a big Trump supporter. He talks about it on his show like every single night on Timcast IRL. But some people who might not watch Timcast IRL like RFK Jr. thought this was an actual endorsement. And RFK Jr. said, "I am so grateful to you, Tim, for your confidence in me, but most of all, your steadfast defense of the Constitution and relentless love for our country." To which Tim Pool replied, "You're a good dude, brother. I was trolling the haters, but in all honesty, I do intend to vote Trump. I hope to see you in the end be a part of his administration and help fight against environmental toxins and big pharma." But there were also some right-wing accounts that thought what he said was real. They thought that Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, all of these, middle-of-the-roaders were jumping ship and voting for RFK Jr. And one of these was Brendan Dilley, another big right-wing account. What is going on with this? Come on, guys, chill out. This is what he said to Tim Pool. He replied this when Tim Pool said he was voting for RFK Jr. as a joke. He said, "You voted for Bernie Sanders, you dumb bee. Let that one swirl around, dork." And Tim Pool retweeted this. He was like, "Listen, guys, if Trump loses, this is why." But Joe Rogan has clarified he has not endorsed RFK Jr. He just likes him. This is what Joe Rogan said. "For the record, this was not an endorsement. That video I played for you at the beginning, that was not an endorsement. That was just saying that he liked RFK Jr." So this article says Joe Rogan has said that he has not endorsed RFK Jr. after he said he liked RFK and discussed the independent presidential candidate in a podcast episode earlier this week. Many on the right called his actions into question after talking about RFK on the podcast. In a response, he said, "For the record, this isn't an endorsement. This is me saying that I like RFK Jr. as a person, and I really appreciate the way he discusses things with civility and intelligence. So this is what he said right here. Let's take a look at the tweet. Let's go to Twitter, or X, I guess. So this is the tweet that was posted by Colin Rugg, the original one where Colin Rugg talks about Joe Rogan endorsing RFK Jr. And now Joe Rogan here, this is his official X account. This is what he says. For the record, this isn't an endorsement. This is me saying that I like RFK Jr. as a person, and I really appreciate the way he discusses things with civility and intelligence. I think we could use more of that in this world. And he goes on to say, I also think Trump raising his fist and saying fight after getting shot is one of the most American effing things of all time. I'm not the guy to get political information from. If you want that from a comic, go to Comic Dave Smith. He actually knows what he's talking about. So Joe Rogan, for the record, officially is not endorsing RFK Jr. If you were to ask me, I would say that Joe Rogan is voting for Trump. I think Joe Rogan understands that we are in a spot in this country where we are at kind of a fork in the road. I think Joe Rogan understands this. I do think he is uncomfortable to take sides, because Joe Rogan has described himself as a liberal many times. And he likes to weigh both sides very carefully. But I think he's beginning to realize, like, it's a little bit different this year. This is not like every other year. Yes, both sides, they have their little things that they talk about, their embellishments. But one side has the complete and utter endorsement of mainstream media that is pumped full of cash for the Democrat Party. And the other side, what do we have? We have, a little bit of Fox News, I guess. And then we have all of the independent creators like myself, who seem like we're screaming at the sky, hey guys, listen to us. You guys don't understand what's going on. You guys don't really see the real Kamala Harris. You guys don't understand Tim Walz's stolen valor. These types of things, we have to make up for that lack. And, Joe Rogan is kind of a part of this. So that is, in a nutshell, the full story of what is going on with Joe Rogan. For the record, I did think he endorsed RFK Jr. as well. I was disappointed because I listen to Joe Rogan frequently. I believe he has fantastic conversations. If I can only be able to have conversations like Joe Rogan. The way he talks, he thinks, he interacts with people. I think he does a fantastic job. And you can tell he's sincere. I believe he's sincere. And I do hope he ends up voting for Donald Trump. Will he? I don't know. But if you were to ask me, if I could be a little fly on the wall when he goes and votes in November, I say Joe Rogan votes for Donald Trump. I think he understands where we are. But what do you guys think? Do you think Joe Rogan is going to vote for Donald Trump, or do you think Joe Rogan actually will vote for RFK Jr. and take the coward's way out? Okay, I'm just kidding, guys. He can do whatever he wants, but I do hope it is Donald Trump. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.